Ever since I started college, two very interesting things happened. Number one, my father began to open up to me about many years of my childhood in which sometimes he would be present and sometimes absent. It was a family secret under doctor's orders. He had actually been in mental hospitals for part of that time with very serious bipolar illness, had been misdiagnosed for years. So finally the truth was revealed. The second, not surprising aspect was I got interested in psychology and in working with children, trying to help kids whose families had mental illness or kids whose families had secrets that really needed to be revealed. One of the real paradoxes explored in the triple bind is girls, compared to 15 or 20 years ago, are depressed ever earlier, are actively attempting suicide at much higher rates than a decade ago, are committing acts of self-mutilation and self-harm much more frequently, are binge eating at all-time highs, and at the same time are fighting and getting into violent behaviors much more than they used to, and even more than boys who are actually decreasing. The mental health problems we're talking about don't, unfortunately, seem to be time-limited to adolescence. Once they get triggered in adolescence, these can portend a lifetime of problems. The triple bind is really the sense of an impossible set of expectations. It's not just being overscheduled. Kids being scheduled is a good thing, but it's this relentless pressure, and for girls especially, a relentless pressure to succeed in all ways while having a certain very ultra-feminine or very sexualized look. Very young girls, 7, 8, and 9, are sexualized in commercials or in shows to look like teens or young women. And at the same time, women of a certain age are made to look like very young girls. So there's this hyper-maturity and this over-focus on looks. To really stop the triple bind in its tracks, we need to foster a wider sense of purpose, a wider sense of commitment, and get out of this gazing in the mirror, self-focus, appearance and pressure is all mentality. And that's going to take a commitment beyond our families, in our neighborhoods, in our cultures, and our institutions to develop a wider sense of purpose for all of our youth.